So if you're watching this video, you're probably familiar with some of the missteps that Luis Elizondo took in the past where he then had to apologize. Like, for example, he presented us this image claiming that it's a mothership taken somewhere over Romania and that the story was corroborated by a pilot who allegedly also saw the object. Well, it turns out it's a reflection, right? You can even see the hairline of the guy who's taken the photo. It seems like it, at least, here. So this is a big one. We also had the irrigation circle. He presented this picture in front of Congress and briefing in front of Congress. He did say he didn't vet it. It was sent to him this morning. It's like, dude, why do you hold it up? It later turned out to be an irrigation circle. You can type in the coordinates here and you can find it yourself on Google Earth. It's an identical match. Both times, I believe, Luis Elizondo, at least in the first case with the chandelier reflection, he did come forward, he did apologize, acknowledge the wrongdoing, and that is something actually that I have to give him credit for. Many other people in this field, they present evidence or they present whistleblowers later, then the story crumbles. They don't come forward and say, okay, I apologize, that wasn't good. It does take some courage to do that, and that is something that I credit Luis Elizondo for doing. Beyond that, there are loads of questions about what role in the Pentagon and what part of AATIP he actually played. They're contradicting witness reports of people who worked there at the time, allegedly saying things, he says something. But I don't want to dive into this. I'm just saying there's a little bit of a history of question marks, let's just put it this way, when it comes to Luis Elizondo presenting stories, presenting facts. And I'm not even talking about that he claimed in his book that there's like orbs flying all around his house pretty much all the time, to the point that it got really annoying for him. Right. What I want to do in today's video is I want to look at some of the claims that he allegedly made over the years. Okay, we get like a nice collection of his tweets, some claims, some quotes that he made in interviews, and it just paints, I'm not going to lie to you, if it is all legit, a grim picture. Now, I have tried to verify the authenticity of each single tweet. I put them into ChatGPT and I was like, look, can you find the source of this tweet? It was a bit too much for ChatGPT, so I was not, unfortunately, able to verify each single one of these tweets, each single one of these messages. So do take it with a pinch of salt. I am not saying that everything I'm going to read out, especially the quotes later on, that might be taken from an interview and slightly paraphrased, are exactly the words that Luis Elizondo said. I would, however, say that a lot of the stuff that he claims here is very much in line and coherent with the claims that he makes in his books and the narratives that he speaks about publicly in general, right? So it is in line, but I can't confirm the authenticity of every single tweet. But check this out. Here is a little compilation, a collage of some of his tweets that he made over the years, starting from 2020 to 2025. And in a second, we go back even further, right? We go back to 2017. But let's start with these ones, because I think these are pretty clearly tweets that he sent. Not to say that you cannot fake tweets like that. Of course, you can Photoshop anything you see here. But he also never protested against this. This has been on Twitter and floating around on Reddit and other platforms for more than 6 months now. At no point Luis Elizondo or any one of his representatives came forward and says, hey, these tweets, he never said this. This is not wrong. If there would be a community note on this post, I wouldn't read it out. But it seems to me like it's legit from everything we know. Again, I'm speculating, so let's get into it. So here's the first tweet. This apparently was tweeted on the 9th of September 2020. Friends, we are working diligently on phase 2 of our efforts to validate this topic. We now must engage our international friends and partners. As you already know, this is not only a US phenomenon, but it is indeed global. Is the international stage ready? I think so. I think people are ready. That was 2020. He then later replied, apparently, to his own tweet and said, as we mentioned, phase 2 is in swing. Some savvy folks on Twitter found this. Glad that the conversation is becoming global, thanks in part to you all. This is going to be a crazy ride for sure. Better hang on. Now that turned out to be correct. It's a crazy ride, but I don't think he anticipated where it ended right now. But let's keep going. Here's another tweet. It doesn't have a date, but it seems to kind of fall out of the same timeline. He does mention going into 2021, so I assume it is also like late 2020 or something. And he says, new dawn, new beginning, same friends. 2021 is shaping up to be a banner year in the midst of shifting into second gear with plenty of room for all to jump on board. Thanks to amazing UFO Twitter and others for your continued support. It almost reads like messages from a different time at this point, isn't it? Because UFO Twitter at this point is so hostile and so skeptical towards anything that these people are putting out. Like, everyone pulls on one string and tries to explain it, debunk it as quickly as they can, obviously, in order to validate whether there's anything authentically paranormal, alien to it, right? Because I just want to know if there's anything alien to it, but why would I want to believe it if people can find out that it's just an irrigation circle in this particular case that we looked at earlier? So the skepticism that we now see on UFO Twitter and other platforms and Reddit as well, that is much more merciless, I almost want to say, to what is being put out there, is healthy, in my opinion. I think a lot of these people, I don't know, but they're probably perceiving it as toxic. It's like these toxic skeptics. They look at everything and then they try to find out where the picture was taken. Why would they do that? Can they not just believe? And that, to me, is an insane approach to this whole subject, right? That makes no sense. But again, a lot of people make money with it, so they have an invested interest in keeping this narrative going. And it better be, I don't know, at least be Lockheed Martin or something, and not just a crop circle. Come on. He then says, and this is in 2022, okay, in March, as indicated, 2022 is turning out to be a great year for transparency. So now we made it through 2021. Probably wasn't that big of a year for transparency and disclosure. Moving on into 2022, and this one's going to be great. It's going to be a great year for transparency. The system is beginning to work. Okay, they have the system in place. Then down here, 24th of December 2023, a bit later again. Happy holidays to you all. Wishing you a happy and healthy holiday and a new year ahead. Truth is prevailing and will continue to do so in 2024. It's going to be an exciting year ahead. I love this so much. Every year is just an exciting year ahead. We're so close. It's just around the corner. Trust me, bro. It's coming up. The system is beginning to work. Anyway, then here's another tweet. This one doesn't have a date, unfortunately. And he says, number one, as promised, we are continuing our efforts behind the scenes. An early Christmas present, the bill is now law. Like a submarine below the depth, no one sees our efforts until they do. And if you think these are exciting times, you just wait for 2023. You ain't seen nothing yet. Dude. Oh, the tease. I don't want to be teased like this. Just give me the whole thing, not just the tip. Wait, what? How did I say this out loud? No, wait. I'm a married man, okay? Don't try to advance on me. Hashtag no homo. I do love my gay viewers, okay? That's all great, but I'm not much into it. Even that just sounded like I am. 16th of January 2025, he said, allegedly, right? I had mentioned on my most recent podcast episode at the start of 2025 might be an interesting year for disclosure, guys. This time, it's for real. We may see a story developing in the coming days regarding new whistleblowers coming forward. Guys, 2025 is the year. This was in January. Now it's September. I mean, it's almost here. There's still many months left in 2025. Okay, we're not there yet. What are you saying? That Elizondo is not going to deliver on this incredible whistleblower that he's got up his sleeve, allegedly, based on this tweet? It's just around the corner, guys. Well, in the replies to this tweet by Lou Angeles, by the way, who shared this image originally, it's the first time I saw it, we get a reply from Stephen Greenstreet, and he's sharing this somewhat infamous and famous picture. Now, this one has to be taken with an even bigger grain of salt, because in the previous image, at least we had the tweets and we could see, yeah, that looks like a tweet. It looks like something Elizondo would tweet. What we see here is just quotes, okay? So some of them stem from interviews. There are also no references, right? There's no references provided. Again, I try to run it through ChatGPT and be like, where did he say this? So take it with a pinch of salt, okay? This has been circulating for a while. As far as I'm aware, Luis Elizondo has not come forward and said, these are all lies, this is all not correct. But it is literally impossible for me to verify each single one of these quotes. Let's go through them, take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not claiming that any of the statements that Elizondo made here, whether it's on Twitter or here, or these out-of-context quotes, are 100% accurate. Okay, I just have to assume that there is some legitimacy to it in the context of everything I've just explained. But again, take it with a pinch of salt. Let's get into it. 2017, December. Okay, so we're going kind of back again. He said, we may not be alone. Guys, we may not be alone. August 2018, I think disclosure already occurred. Guys, it already happened. You didn't even notice. It already happened. You missed it. We were waiting for it for so long. It came and went. We didn't notice. April 2019. A lot of people ask me, so do you think disclosure has occurred? And I think it has occurred. It already has occurred in 2019. December 2020. 2021 is shaping up to be a banner year. That is the tweet we just read. May 2021, pay attention for the next 30 days. It is now May 2021. I think this conversation is about to get real interesting. The next 30 days, just like Dr. Stephen Greer promised us in 72 hours. It's coming, guys. Just buy the book and watch the next episode of my podcast. It's really so close now. I mean, 2021, you know what I mean? That's going to be the year. Then in 2022, in January, he allegedly said, I think 2022 is going to be an even better year. We've got so many things planned. We've got so much stuff planned. You guys won't even believe how much stuff we have planned. Then, January 2022. The best is yet to come. We may be reaching a critical mass. December 2022, so later that same year, in the end of that year, he said, allegedly, if you think these are exciting times, just wait for 2023, okay? You ain't seen nothing yet. I think this conversation is about to get real interesting. Oh my God, dude, you know. It is remarkable to me because when you put it like this, right? When you put all these quotes in one place and you see over the years how many times he's like, allegedly, saying, trust me, bro. It's coming. It's really just here. And basically, just wait a bit longer and buy my book. It's somewhat stunning and, in my opinion, tells a whole story if you see it condensed into one place like that. But let's keep going. We're almost there. October 2023, almost a year later there, huh? He says, keep the faith. Much, much more is coming. It's coming. And soon. January 2024. There's no going back. This is going to be an interesting year, guys. This is early 2024. 2024 came, 2024 went. It was an interesting year for sure. That much is probably correct. May 2024, we are now one step closer to an irreversible milestone towards disclosure. Wait, what do you mean? I thought disclosure already happened. It's already occurred in August 2018. But now we're doing it again. It's Disclosure 2.0. It's Disclosure Endgame. The next part. We're all coming together and we're all fighting against this one big threat against Thanos or something in a UFO. But May 2024, almost so much closer to an irreversible milestone towards disclosure. And then January 2025, he said, allegedly, the start of 2025 might be an interesting year for disclosure, right? He wasn't the only one. You remember, early 2025, loads of people were like, we're this close. That was also the time when Dr. Stephen Greer came forward and said, in 72 hours, everything will be revealed, right? It is now 7 months later. It's like, please, where is it? I've been waiting 72 months. You promised me 72 hours. But it is remarkable to me to see all these quotes, to see all these statements in one place. It just paints a picture, in my opinion, of someone whose interest is not really putting out truthful narratives, right? Okay, again, this is just my interpretation of what I'm seeing here. We have heard and imply people like Anna Paulina Luna, without naming him personally, but saying that there were people in Congress that she worked with talking about UAPs who were more interested in selling their books than revealing any form of truth.
What I will state is yesterday, was I a little bit disappointed in some of the responses from the witnesses? Yes, we got some great stuff, but I'm not interested in hearing about people's books. I'm interested in hearing about whether or not people can answer the questions.
Now, I'm not claiming to know that that's what's going on here, but looking at what we just looked at, it certainly doesn't look good. It does not look like the timeline of someone whose main focus is bring some kind of truth. But that is just my opinion. Maybe I'm missing key milestones in that timeline here or whatever. Leave your thoughts on everything I just spoke about, on Luis Elizondo, on all the points I made. Maybe you want to make your own points about the credibility of Luis Elizondo. We can have that debate down in the comments. Right? I'm not claiming that anything I said here is the ultimate truth, but I myself have seen at least some of these tweets at the time, and it does seem to fit into the bigger narrative that he's talking about in most interviews and places where you see him talk about UFOs. So, again, I'm happy to stand corrected if you guys prove to me that half of these tweets or messages or quotes we just read are all fake and fabricated. Then I will take the video down, okay? But I have to assume, after everything we looked at and we know at this point in time, that at least some of it is real. But let's work on it together. Let's have the conversation. What are your thoughts on the story? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Smash like. Join our Discord, okay? It's free. The link is in the description. It's a lovely community. I'm hanging out there. Many others are too, so I would love to meet you over on the Discord. Thanks for watching. Smash like, subscribe. I see you in the next one. And I'm out. Bye.